If it's Wednesday, it's Hump Day Hangover. Greetings everyone, I'm Bart, the Success Educator, and today we conclude our three-part episode on hashtag Never Give Up. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, or how about joining me with a cocktail, and let's get started. This is Hump Day Hangover. Now this week concludes our three-part episode on hashtag Never Give Up. And here's what we've learned so far. First of all, we've learned to never take no for an answer. The only way to fail is to give up. Secondly, we've learned that when one door closes, either you find another door to open or you build one. We've also learned that obstacles are opportunities. You have to really look sometime inside that obstacle, but you're going to always find an opportunity. And finally, we've learned that either you give up or you get going. So let's get going with this next episode. This episode, as with all, comes from my best-selling book, My Moment to Succeed. Go out to my website, successeducator.com. You'll see a link there to Amazon where you can purchase the book. I'll be happy to autograph it for you and personalize it. But back to our final episode, and I'm really excited about this one, of hashtag Never Give Up. Let's start talking about some of the people who never gave up. The first person, the first company that we are profiling is Samsung. Did you know that Samsung started as a noodle maker? That's right. They made noodles and they shipped dried Korean fish, vegetables, and noodles to customers in Manchuria and Beijing. But today, they're a powerhouse electronics industry. Sidney Poitier. After his first audition, the casting director told him, "Why don't you stop wasting people's time and go out and become a dishwasher or something?" Well, he did do something. He went on to star in 52 feature films, was a director for 9 feature films. He went on to win an Oscar and a Golden Globe. In fact, he was the first black actor to ever win an Oscar or a Golden Globe. He's been nominated for Emmys, Golden Globe, NAACP Image Awards, Academy Awards. He was recognized by the American Film Institute as one of the greatest male stars of the classic Hollywood cinema. He's been knighted by Queen Elizabeth. He's received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He has been inducted into the Kennedy Center Honors and has become one of the most respected actors in the business. Oscar winner, Kennedy Center Honor, knighted by the Queen, Presidential Medal of Freedom, Sidney Poitier. Sony. For Akio Morita, the founder of Sony, his first product was a rice cooker, and that rice cooker burned more rice than it cooked, and he sold less than 100 units, but he persevered, and he created a multi-billion-dollar high-tech company, Sony. Star Search. Now, many of you out there may not remember the television reality talent show Star Search. Very similar to America's Idol or America's Got Talent, The Voice. But Star Search is one of the very first. And did you know that Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Leanne Rimes, Britney Spears, Beyonce Knowles, and Drew Carey all lost in the Star Search competition? Where are they today? Starbucks. If Howard Schultz gave up after being turned down by banks 242 times, there would be no Starbucks. Imagine a corner of any city without a Starbucks. Stephen King. Stephen King's first book was rejected 30 times. He threw it in the trash. His wife retrieved it and encouraged him to resubmit, and the rest is history. His books have sold more than 350 million copies. He has published 58 novels, 200 short stories, and many of them have gone on to become feature films, documentaries, short stories. You can see him on television almost any day of the week. Some of his more famous: Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, Pet Sematary. Stephen King. Stephenie Meyer. Stephenie's inspiration for her book came from a dream, and she finished it in 3 months. On a friend's suggestion, she sent it to 15 literary agencies, and from those 15, 5 never replied and 9 rejected. But one said, "There may be something here." After her first book deal, she earned over $40 million. She went on to become the best-selling author in 2008 and 2009. She has sold over 55 million books. Time magazine has named her as one of the most influential people, ranking her number 49 out of 100. And Forbes magazine says she's the 59th most powerful celebrity. We know her for the Twilight series, but imagine what Stephenie Meyer may have done had she listened to those other 14 people and not to that one. Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg applied and was denied 2 times for the prestigious University of Southern California Film School. Instead, he went to Cal State University in Long Beach. Steven Spielberg is the highest grossing film director in history. He's been nominated for 7 Academy Awards and winning 3. He has numerous Golden Globe Award nominations and wins, and the American Film Institute has inducted him into the Lifetime Achievement Award and into their Hall of Fame. He also has received the Kennedy Center honors. Some of Spielberg's more famous movies? There's a long list, but how about E.T., Jaws, Schindler's List, and Raiders of the Lost Ark? Taco Bell. Did you know that Glenn Bell started Taco Bell as a hot dog stand back in 1946? But he sold tacos as just a side order. That's where he found his success. And in 1962, Taco Bell was born. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Television. In 1913, the New York Times predicted that television would fail because people wouldn't have time to stop and stare at a screen. How much time do you spend in front of the television? Tiffany's. In 1837, on Broadway in New York, a stationery shop opened. Day 1 sales were $4.98. Soon, Charles Louis Tiffany realized that customers favored his diamonds more than his stationery. But Tiffany's still sells stationery. Tom Landry. Tom Landry won no games his first season and won 5 or fewer over the next 4. But he became one of the winningest coaches in National Football League history, with a record of 270 wins, 178 defeats, and 6 ties. He went on to win 2 Super Bowls, 5 NFC titles, and 13 division titles. Those 20 playoff wins stands as the second most in NFL history. His team became known as America's team, and he has been inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. The head coach of the Dallas Cowboys from 1960 to 1988, thank goodness someone believed in him even after his first 5 seasons. Tom Landry. Walt Disney. If Walt Disney had quit after his theme park concept was trashed 302 times, there would be no Disneyland. Instead, there are now 11 Disney theme parks throughout the world, including Tokyo, Paris, and Hong Kong. And think about all the influence that the Disney parks have here in the U.S. Walt Disney, the genius behind the wonderful world of Disney. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill struggled in school. He failed 6th grade. And he was defeated in every election until he became Prime Minister at age 62. He is now considered one of the most significant figures of the 20th century. And did you know that he also won the Nobel Prize for Literature? He was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1951 to 1955. Winston Churchill. And we're going to end our 3-part episode with Wrigley. Do you know that Wrigley started as a soap and baking soda company in 1891? But today, it's become one of the largest confectionaries in the world. I bet you've chewed a piece of Wrigley Spearmint or Double Mint gum. Wrigley. And so what we've learned from these nearly 50 companies and individuals is you never give up. You keep trying and pushing and struggling, even if you don't know what your end game is or what your goal is, or even maybe you don't even know what it is that you want to achieve. You're just open to possibilities. Because you see, when you never give up, you're always living in your spotlight. You are living your life by your design. Let's take a quick look at our journaling activities for the week. As always, start off with your wins. List the wins you experienced today and over the past week. And over the past 3 weeks, think back. Who has inspired you the most and why? And when was the last time you gave up? And if you were awarded a do-over, what would you do differently? And what is your next step in making your dreams a reality? And finally, how often are you going to remind yourself to hashtag never give up? Make never give up your mantra. Let's go look at our bardism real quick, and this week's bardism comes from Walt Disney. And Walt Disney taught us the difference between winning and losing is most often not quitting. If you never quit, you'll never truly lose. And don't forget that gratitude list. List 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. And once again, thank you for spending a few moments with me, for being part of this 3-part series. Hit that subscribe button below. Click on the bell next to it to receive your notifications. Go out to my website, successeducator.com. Across the top, you'll see the links to my social media. Please follow me there. Please share this YouTube video. Make some comments, and I'll be glad to share those in future episodes. And of course, visit the Success Store. Remember, what comes to mind when someone mentions your name, that is your brand. So until next week, this has been Hump Day Hangover. Ciao.